takes the mound in a big league stadium for the first time. Just heard Robbie talk about second lieutenant Chris Rowley and talked about the irony, the fact that he becomes the first West Point graduate to appear in a major league game, and he pitches for the only team in Canada. Chris Rowley. Check out the RAV4 starting lineup for the Pirates under the direction of Tom Prince. Starling Marte, 4 games against the Jays in his career, a .313 average. Adam Frazier will follow. Then it's Josh Harrison and Josh Bell. Bell hitting cleanup. David Freese is the DH. In right, it's Gregory Polanco, Jordy Mercer, John Jaso in left, and Francisco Cervelli. You know by now that Andrew McCutchen is out for today's game.
And there you see the numbers for Chris Rowley this year in Triple-A. 10 games, 6 starts, a .282 ERA and 54 1/3 innings of work. Not many walks, not a whole bunch of strikeouts, a couple of home runs allowed. Making his debut. Pretty remarkable, really.
Yeah.
Just 4 years ago, signed as a non-drafted player out of college and missed 2 years. Crazy.
Well, he's hoping for a better night. The Honda defense, Rob Refsnyder committed 2 critical errors. The Pirates scoring 4 unearned runs against Marcus Stroman in the 3rd inning, and he struck out 4 times at the plate. Jose Bautista was the DH last night. He's in right field. Kevin Pillar is in center. Steve Pearce in left. Darwin Barney at 3rd. Ryan Goins the shortstop. Justin Smoke at 1st, and the catcher. And that's a concern certainly for these Blue Jays. It's Rafi Lopez, because Russell Martin is on the disabled list. He got hurt last night. Underway, you see the Pirates wearing their alternate black jersey tops for this one. And a strike. First big league pitch. Kind of surprised they didn't ask to have that ball thrown out.
Yeah.
And 0-2.
He's ready to go, working quickly. Kind of stands in the stretch.
Interesting in that his last appearance in the minors, pitching for AAA Buffalo, was against the Pirates AAA affiliate, the Indianapolis Indians. He came on and pitched 4 relief innings 5 days ago at Indy. And Marte fights it off, hits it weakly to second. And the first one in the books for Chris Rowley. Allegheny Health Network injury update. Andrew McCutchen, something did not feel right. That left knee, he took himself out of the ball game. Met there Ben Potenziano. This was after his RBI double in the 3rd inning. The good news after the game, he said that he felt much better, just weird. If you could have a cramp in your knee, that's what he had. This ball hit in the air the other way by Frazier, and 2 outs. Later, Andrew McCutchen tweeted out, "I'm Gucci." So he says, "I'm good, but not able to start tonight." We don't know if he'll be able to come off the bench. We'll see. So 2 up, 2 down for Chris Rowley. Pardon me if I said tonight. We're indoors. You say that once the roof is closed at the start of the game, it stays closed. There was a threat of rain. So Rogers Center open for business, but roof closed. Now 1 ball and 1 strike. We understand that tomorrow, good chance it will be open for the finale of this series.
And you have no idea what's going on outside. No windows. In fact, it was raining during last night's game. It's surprising to be out there in rain after the game. Well, early on, you can see Rowley not a very hard thrower. There's about the only light you're going to see from inside here.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Wow. How about that start to a big league career? Here in Toronto, the Blue Jays will come to bat. I can't tell you how many folks drove up from the Pittsburgh area to be here this weekend. Check out the Toronto Blue Jays lineup. It is Jose Bautista, .217 for the year, 7 career games against his former club, 3 homers. Josh Donaldson will DH this afternoon. Then it's Justin Smoke and Steve Pearce. Rafi Lopez, the catcher. Kevin Pillar in center. Ryan Goins, Darwin Barney, and Robbie Refsnyder.
Trevor Williams coming off that gem his last time out against Detroit. 24th game, .417 ERA, looking for his 6th win. Just 9 home runs allowed by Trevor. Opponents hitting just .256.
Jose Bautista, 20th home run last night. Bit of a home run surge lately for Joey Bats. And as he steps up to the batter's box, he and Cervelli have a little bit of fun. 4 homers his last 5 games, after going 18 without a home run. But now a 20 home run season again. 8 straight years of at least 20. Second player in Blue Jays history to accomplish that feat. Carlos Delgado the other. 2-1.
He's such a good hitter. I mean, obviously we know about his power, and to hit just .217 is a head scratcher for me, because he's patient up there. Not sure what was wrong with that pitch. That looked like it was right there, but you know, you don't see him chase too often out of the zone. There you go. Good location from Trevor Williams. 3 of the 4 could have been called strikes.
A walk to Bautista. Well, brings up Josh Donaldson and our Rivers Casino tips to win.
No, I think for Trevor, keeping the ball in the park. I mean, he's done a great job of that. Just 9 home runs allowed, and this Toronto offense relies on the long ball a good bit. And pick up Kutch. Andrew McCutchen, the Pirates' leading hitter, average home runs, RBIs. Somebody has to pick up the slack. Hopefully, maybe Marte, Jay Hay hitting in that 3-hole today, or collectively pick it up for Andrew.
Josh Harrison, Pirates didn't have much going on at the plate offensively. They used the shabby defense, but Jay Hay took advantage. Couple of hits drove in an important third inning run. 4 hits total for the Pirates. Josh Donaldson was hitless in 4 trips to the plate.
Pretty good pitch there. A little late with the swing from Josh Donaldson. I mean, Trevor Williams, again, fastball wise, he averages in the low 90s. We'll see him throw the fastball at times at 88, 89, 90, and he'll get the swings and misses on it. Whether it's movement, whether it's deception, a lot of guys have trouble getting off a good swing.
And Donaldson anxious to deliver in the first, instead goes down on strikes.
And that was a very late swing on the high fastball. 92 miles per hour. And it was by him. Well, there you see, by the time that the barrel gets out in front of the plate, the ball was in Cervelli's glove.
Here's Justin Smoke. Smoke had 2 hits. Last night's game, lines this to right. And heading to third, a bit of a stumble Bautista, but he is going to get there.
Playing on turf for these Pirates, it doesn't happen very often, and that ball hit hard out to Gregory Polanco, and you got to play it a little bit cautiously, because if this ball bounces over your head, it's going to cost you a run. So Gregory kind of backs up a little bit to make sure there wasn't a high bounce. If this is on grass, he can be more aggressive. He can come after the ball. And Bautista is going to put the brakes on at second base, but he saw Gregory Polanco sit back, and so Bautista took advantage and took the extra 90 feet.
Bautista sees Polanco on his heels. Still a fairly close play. And now it's first and third, and Steve Pearce at the plate. Check swing foul for Pearce, who was in left field and hitting 5th last night. Walked in 4 trips to the plate. Trevor Williams trying to work his way out of a first inning jam. Looking for the ground ball now. Williams, drafted by the Marlins out of Arizona State, a 2nd round pick 4 years ago. Pirates traded for him before last year. Slowly hit, and too slow for 2. So it's 1-0 in favor of the Blue Jays. RBI for Pearce.
Very weak contact as Williams gets a late swing, a jam shot off the bat of Pearce, and it just didn't get to Adam Frazier quickly enough. He does a good job of getting the lead runner. But Pearce doesn't run, below average runner, still easily able to beat that.
Here is the catcher, Rafi Lopez. Came on for the injured Russell Martin last night. After Martin strained his left oblique after his first inning at bat, Lopez was 1 for 3. Russell Martin placed on the 10-day disabled list with his left oblique. This was the at bat. See him grimace. He can barely make it to first. He tried to go out and catch in the 2nd inning, but no go. So he's on the disabled list. Mike Ullman called up from the minors. And a strikeout of Lopez ends the first. Couple of Ks, but a run in against Trevor Williams through one. It's 1-0 Toronto.
On AT T Sportsnet is brought to you by Allegheny Health Network, the largest health system rated #1 in the region for all the things that matter most. And by Kenny Ross Subaru, Total Confidence Pricing. Let's go Bucks!
Trevor Williams on the UPMC scoreboard trails 1-0. Justin Smoke got Jose Bautista to third. Steve Pearce's ground ball got home Bautista, and now it is Josh Bell. Pirates rookie, sacrifice fly last night, plus a walk, giving him 63 RBIs on the year.
Four-pitch guy. Raleigh, fastball, curveball, slider, and changeup. Back-to-back changeups to get ahead of Josh Bell.
26 years old, from Atlanta. Pete Walker is the pitching coach for the Toronto Blue Jays, keeping tabs. It's Bell, Freese, and Polanco for the Pirates here in the second. Well, they get the scouting report on Chris Raleigh, but facing him for the first time. Chance to see exactly what he has to offer. 43 starts at Army. He was their ace. 25-9, and flicking it into left center field for extra bases. Josh Bell at least a couple, and he is going to try for three, and Josh Bell is into third with a triple. A leadoff three-bagger.
Boy, that's pretty remarkable there for Josh Bell. Like you said, he just flicks it. It goes all the way to the wall in left center field, and you're not going to see this or expect this very often. There you see Josh Bell real deep in the box. He catches that ball a little deep, and the pitch was actually off the plate away. Splits the two outfielders perfectly. A long way to go for Pilar in center, Pearson left. You don't see that very often. Triples hit the left center.
Another look.
And he was thinking three from the get-go.
And that's how you become your team's leader in triples.
Yeah.
Josh Bell with 5 to lead the Pirates. Number 55. Picks up his 5th triple of the season. 0-2 count on David Freese. The infield will concede the tying run. Wow, and Rowley strikes out the veteran. Second K for Chris Rowley.
Well, we've seen some awkward swings first 5 batters, and just takes a little off. He missed with location, but had David Freese way out in front. He wanted it down and away. He left it up outer third. And now the Blue Jays will bring the infield in with 1 out. Gregory Polanco.
Ball 1. Polanco was also hitless last night in 4 trips. So after striking out David Freese, as John said, the infield in. And that's hit hard, but right at Smoke.
And a good decision. If Smoke is playing back, that ball is a 1-hopper, and perhaps Josh Bell would score on it, but with Smoke in, an easy play.
Gregory Polanco reacts. And now it's Jordy Mercer to try and pick up a 2-out RBI.
And Josh Bell freezing.
Wow. 0-2.
And you see the first pitch, the second pitch, same velocity, same location.
Up the middle, a base hit. That is big. Went with the fastball, and Jordy Mercer slaps it into center field to tie the game at 1.
Jordy's always been a good fastball hitter, and with 2 strikes, gets the pitch. Look at it. It's like
wow.
neck high. Who hits that? Frustrated is Raleigh, but you know, I'm sure that worked for him a bunch throughout his minor league and collegiate career.
Here's John Jaso.
And you have to wonder if they're even expecting a swing. Maybe
right.
just a waste pitch to kind of speed up the bat, show the fastball way up out of the zone.
John Jaso started in right field last night. He's in left field today.
Look at that. It's like a screwball. That's a changeup that just runs away from the left-handed batter. And that changeup kind of broke just straight down.
Jaso hit by a pitch his first time up in last night's game. That proved costly to Marcus Stroman, as he would score on the hard ground ball hit by Adam Frazier. Marcus Stroman then struck out Jaso, and it was almost a comical at bat. They're talking in the clubhouse today about it. Grounded to second. Big 2-out hit from Jordy Mercer off Chris Rowley. It's 1-1. A lot of Pirate fans are definitely fans of Pirates pitching coach. 1-1 ball game. There he is, Uncle Ray. He likes this Barrel League leader's stat. Home runs per 9 innings since May 17th.
Wow.
Trevor Williams and Chad Kuhl 1-2 on the list. One of John's tips to win. Kevin Pillar takes a strike. Williams has given up 9 total on the year in 107 innings. Chad Kuhl, he will go tomorrow afternoon against Jay Happ. Seated next to Chris Stewart on his right. Jameson Taillon. Taillon last night. Strong performance, pitching into the 7th inning. Getting the win. And on the 1-2 pitch, Pillar is hit.
Big part of Trevor Williams' game, going inside. That one just got away.
It's the 5th batter he's hit, which is the 2nd most on the club behind Ivan Nova. Nova's hit 6.
Well, looked like it got the right wrist or forearm. Got a piece of Francisco Cervelli as well.
Pillar picked up an RBI last night. 1 for 3. Reaches to lead things off the bottom of the 2nd. Jose Bautista walked in the 1st, and he scored. Tom Prince managing again this afternoon, as he did last night. Picked up his first major league win as a manager last night, and well, you could see the affection so many players have for Tom Prince, who spent a lot of years in this organization, a number of capacities. They doused him with a Gatorade cooler full of water after the victory, and big hugs from Jordy Mercer and others. He is managing as Clint Hurdle is away attending Don Baylor's funeral services. He'll be back tomorrow. So here it is after the win. A playful bunch of buccos with Tom Prince, including Ivan Nova, Gregory Polanco, Jay Hay. They say, oh yeah, you're gonna get the Gatorade shower. Yep. Here we go. He says, no, don't do this to me. Nope. They will have nothing of it. He will he will get it.
You noticed Jose Osuna wasn't going to dump it on him.
No.
He had to hand it off.
Yes.
He wasn't going to be responsible.
That's exactly right. He's still too close to the minor league level. Ball bunted foul.
That would be worse than being surprised. Anticipating.
Yeah.
That would be horrible.
Tom Prince, longtime Pirates catcher, back up and down that shuttle between the Pirates and the AAA affiliate those days, Buffalo. And now Buffalo is the top farm club of these Jays. And there's another strikeout. That's 3 for Trevor Williams.
Yeah, and another late swing at a fastball that was pretty much right there. I mean, that's fastball catching a pretty good bit of the plate. And look how late the swing is. I mean, that ball is by him.
Ryan Goins is gone. Now it's Darwin Barney with Pillar at first and 1 out. Hit toward left, right at J-So. Line out. Barney retired, brings up Rob Refsnyder. We invite you to get your tickets for the next fireworks night. The next homestand begins Thursday night. Big 4-game series showdown with the St. Louis Cardinals. And coming up during that homestand, the fireworks night, Zambelli Fireworks will light up the Pittsburgh skyline next Friday, presented by 84 Lumber. Plus, before the game, be sure to check out the block party on Federal Street. Go to pirates.com/fireworks for your tickets. That's coming up next Friday night. Game 2 of the 4-game series. Pirates, Cardinals, and then the Dodgers are in for 4. Rough night for Ref Snyder. Last night, the former Yankee struck out each of his 4 at-bats, faced 3 different pitchers, struck out looking to end the ball game against Felipe Rivero, and again he committed 2 very costly errors that led to the 4 unearned runs. Bouncing ball up the middle. 2-out single to center. Ref Snyder aboard. Now it's Jose Bautista. Bucco fans on hand here at Rogers Center. Point Park University tweet from that group. Looking for some memories. Great shots. One outside Rogers Center. Pirates' 3rd visit here.
Where we have a great location. Open up the curtains and there it is. Ballpark pretty much across the street.
Yep. And 1 on Bautista. The Pirates actually have to leave this building, go across the street, but some people decide to stay here, the hotel, and watch the game from their hotel rooms. Wild.
Yeah. That would be cool.
Pickoff try. No dice.
And just a read for Trevor Williams. He sees Frazier break. Try to time it up. Those are tough to pull off unless the timing's perfect, the throw's perfect.
Really does make you wonder if that's all worth it, doesn't it?
Well, a lot of times, yeah. That's I mean, how often do you see it succeed?
When it works, I know.
Especially 2 outs when no runner's not going anywhere.
You know, the stat of how many strikes are thrown after a pickoff attempt by a pitcher is made. The next pitch. Now it's 3-1. You know, you wonder how much it gets in the mindset. 3-1 now on Bautista. Bautista now 36 years old.
And it comes right at him. The fastball, 89.
Did he go? No. And they are loaded. So the appeal to first base umpire Bruce Dreckman. Jordan Baker is behind the plate with Chad Whitson at second, and the crew chief at third today is Mike Everett. First base umpire Bruce Dreckman said that Bautista did not offer at that pitch, and now a bases loaded situation. Second walk for Williams. Hit Pilar to begin this inning.
And we talked so much about his command, and the fastball command hasn't been as good as we've seen it through the first couple of innings.
Look at those numbers. Wow, 459 career in these situations.
That's insane.
My gosh. An important first pitch strike from the former AL MVP.
Well, Trevor came at him with fastballs the first time up, and Donaldson late striking out on a fastball up around the letters.
Out in front 0-2. Like a lot of Jays, it's not been a healthy year for Josh Donaldson. Playing in just his 73rd game this season. He has struck out 72 times in his 257 ABs.
Late swing there again. Fastball that didn't go as high as Trevor Williams and Francisco Cervelli wanted, but got away with it. Yeah, that's too good of a pitch for an 0-2 pitch, but again, Donaldson not picking it up. He's been a bit tardy. Nice block there by Cervelli. Nice to have that confidence as a pitcher when you have the bases loaded. Yeah, 0-2 pitch, you want to waste one, try to get a chase, and bury one in the dirt, and know that your catcher is going to be able to keep it in front.
One and two. Not even. Rookie Trevor Williams facing Donaldson. Justin Smoak on deck. Hopefully it won't come to that here in the second. Williams, the rookie, 5th among all National League rookie pitchers with a 4.17 ERA. Last 9 starts, an earned run average of just .321. Going back to his June 21st performance. Wow, now it's 3-2. Boy, and an early, big pitch, just the second inning.
92 and the run, that late movement. Started off on the plate. That may have been right where he wanted to throw it, thinking maybe he could tie up Donaldson, get a weak ground ball, but he was able to lay off it.
Walked him, and it's 2-1. RBI for Donaldson. Pilar scores, and a gift run here from, actually 2 runs. Trevor Williams walked Bautista, and he scored last inning. He hits Pilar, and then walked 2 batters back to back to force in a run, and he faces the Blue Jays' really top hitter in the lineup, Justin Smoak. Bucco fans watching from their hotel. Nervously watching, by the way.
A little nervous. But still nice to get up, grab a coffee, put a chair in front of the window, settle in.
Justin Smoke, third in the American League in slugging. What a year he's having compared to last season at this time. The All-Star Justin Smoke.
Changes it up. Had him out in front. Good changeup.
Acting manager Tom Prince. Bases still loaded, 2 outs, a 2-1 Jays lead. And 1-1 on Smoke. See Trevor Williams now with 40 pitches. Justin Smoke with 31 homers, tied for 4th in the American League. His 76 RBIs, 6th highest. In on him. And 1-2.
It actually looked like it had a little cut to it as well. 93. You see where Cervelli set up and throws it right where the glove was.
He got out in front of Josh Donaldson, but walked him. He's out in front of Smoke, 1-2. Stays a ball, 2 strikes. Switch hitting Justin Smoke.
Good job of wasting a borderline pitch.
Got him. Limits the damage. Big strikeout of Smoke. The Jays have a 2-1 lead. Presents our unlimited baseball break. Giancarlo Stanton hit his 40th home run of the year for the Marlins. Wilson Contreras of the Cubs out at least 4 weeks with a strained right hamstring. And the Yankees snapped the Red Sox 8-game winning streak with a 5-4 win at Yankee Stadium last night. Come from behind.
Hey, that's
nachos look good.
Where the nachos came from. Yeah, look at that. I got a treat from everybody in the truck. Some jerk nachos. Good stuff.
Cervelli now bunts the ball off the mound, and the pitcher Chris Rowley takes care of Cervelli. Yeah, those nachos look good down there, John.
What'd you say?
I said those nachos down there look pretty.
Huh?
Aha. I was wondering why you were so quiet.
Yeah.
Where'd you get those?
The truck sent them up.
Really?
Yeah.
Don't you owe somebody a little thank you?
Thank you, truck.
There you go. There's your thank you. Delish. Brian Hanloff actually was John's runner. Like he's got nothing else to do.
And you know what? And I thanked him on his way out. And you know what happened? The people in the truck,
they didn't like that.
Most notably Pete Toma, felt like he needed to be thanked.
Well, I think Pete was the one that told him, go bring him nachos. So Pete certainly deserves credit for that.
Pete's been around here 8 or 10 years. And you know how many times he's sent me food up? 0. And I have a hard time believing that he was responsible for this.
0-2 on Marte. You weren't even listening to me. I said Pete deserves credit for telling.
Yeah.
Ryan, you go up, you get him nachos. So Pete deserves a big thank you for that.
Yeah. Thanks, Pete. Appreciate it.
1 ball, 2 strikes on Marte. Chris Rowley.
I was just wondering if it was true that he made Brian expense it too. I know Pete didn't pay for it.
And Marte has a 1-out single. Might have broken his bat. Delivers with 2 strikes.
A little breaking ball away. He stayed on it. Left up a little bit. Still off the plate.
Well, we might get a chance to see about how good Rowley is holding runners. You know that Marte has been anxious to get a stolen base. He has struggled getting on base, so a little bit of a flurry after he returned from the suspended list. But and now that he wanted to go and he shut it down. Well, an off-speed pitch away to Adam Frazier.
That's one of those deals. I think he was ready to go, didn't get a good jump, and so smartly put on the brakes.
Another broken bat, the pop up. Ref Snyder. Now with 2 outs, it will bring up Josh Harrison. As Frazier has flied to left and popped up to shallow right. Chris Stewart there seated at the end of that bench. He and Francisco Cervelli were both with the Yankees back at the end of spring training 2013, when the Yankees, for the first time in about 30 years, made the return trip to West Point for an exhibition game before the start of the regular season. And Chris Rowley was the scheduled starting pitcher that day for the Army Black Knights.
Wow.
Chris Stewart said just a great experience getting the tour at West Point. And Francisco Cervelli actually started that game, but because Chris Rowley was scheduled to start the following day in one of the doubleheaders against Navy, they didn't want to waste him on an exhibition game against the Yankees, so he was introduced as the starter. But they went with a reliever, and then some Yankees minor leaguers also pitched in that game. And there goes Marte, and Josh Harrison lifts it to right for the final out, as Jose Bautista just realizes that is 3. to $10 per ticket for outfield box seating for Sunday through Thursday home games. Get your tickets at pirates.com/advantage card and take advantage as the Pirates return to PNC Park for an 8-game homestand starting Thursday night against the St. Louis Cardinals. And first pitch swinging Steve Pearce. And the long stretch, and Josh Bell stays on the corner of the bag. 1 up and 1 down.
I don't like the quick out, especially after the long second inning for Trevor Williams. An easy 2-hopper for Josh. And Josh Bell on the other side. Good stretch.
Rafi Lopez. Look at Andrew McCutchen. Says he's fine. Said so after the game last night. So big sigh of relief after watching him limp off the field last night.
Well, I was thinking, I get hard not to think about, can't remember the player's name from Atlanta that tripped over the.
Oh my gosh, yeah, the other, I thought the same thing. His knee locked up on him.
He ended up on a disabled list with a bruise to the knee.
I showed that video a couple days ago.
And
there's a strikeout.
A good little changeup had him out in front. You know, there were so many weird injuries in football with ACLs, and that was my biggest fear. I mean, if somehow he tore an ACL or whatever, because there have been times we've seen football players where it looks like a harmless play, nobody even touches them,
right?
And somehow they have a problem with that. But yeah, very fortunate. Good news that Andrew should be back soon.
Johan Camargo was the man who was injured Tuesday night in that bizarre play, just heading out to the field to begin the ball game, and a fly ball to Starling Marte and a much better bottom of the third. 2-1 Blue Jays.
Chris Rowley takes him out with the Pirates trailing 2-1 on Robbie and Smikowski. Well, we told the story of Chris Rowley making his big league debut. He missed 2 professional seasons while serving our country in the United States Military Academy. You might be wondering, what is his status as of right now? So he was released from active duty. He's now in what they call individual ready reserve. So he's still technically in the U.S. Army, but he's not assigned to a unit right now, which is why he has the long hair and the facial hair. So a lot of people are wondering. And in terms of the process, his bosses and superiors in his battalion knew of his baseball career and his impending professional upcoming career with the Blue Jays. So he met with them. Then he had to go meet with the Blue Jays to get the official permission. They granted it. So the U.S. Army was on board with exactly what he was doing. So they had to grant that status and knew it, and they worked with the Blue Jays in getting this whole thing done. So a lot of great stuff to come from Chris Riley's big league debut. And Greg, as Tom Prince said earlier, hey, I'm rooting for the kid in his career, but I wouldn't mind beating him today.
Yeah, he said nothing personal, but you know he wants to beat Raleigh and the Blue Jays. And West Point and Navy have given special consideration to graduates who have prospects in pro sports over the years, granting that exception to the 5-year commitment. Remember, a couple of years ago, the Pirates and other National League clubs saw Mitch Harris out of the Navy, and pretty good season back in 2015. Unfortunately, he ended up hurt and was released in spring training this year. John Gibbons is the manager of the Toronto Blue Jays, and hopeful that Raleigh can supplant, as we said earlier, Liriano, perhaps, who was dealt to Houston before the deadline. Aaron Sanchez still on the DL, so they're looking for starters. Raleigh was asked about this being almost a tryout. He said, well, really, when you think about it, isn't it always a tryout when you go to the mound? And well, he's impressing so far. Third K for Chris Raleigh. And some Point Park University tweet here on Chris Raleigh.
When I first saw it, I thought that was Bill Mazeroski.
Wow.
It looks a little
similar,
like.
yeah. Black Knight, Blue Jay. Diving try, but Barney can't cut off the base hit by David Freese. A 1-out single.
I'm used to seeing Barney on the other side of the infield. A lot of second base with the Cubbies.
Struggling with the bat, so he was not in the lineup last night, and Josh Donaldson DHing this afternoon, a regular third baseman. Gregory Polanco lined out to Justin Smoke in the second. Sitting on 10 home runs and 32 RBIs. Raleigh at AAA Buffalo this year after being promoted from AA. Think of that too. You started this season with the AA New Hampshire Fisher Cats in the bullpen for a while. Made 5 starts, then promoted to AAA Buffalo. 10 appearances, 6 starts for the Bisons. And in those 10 appearances, 54 1/3 innings, 15 walks, 41 strikeouts. Just a couple years ago, he was working out in Romania, Bulgaria, throwing to his medic.
That's crazy.
Three and 2 on Polanco. Spend your afternoon at the ballpark Saturday when the Pirates take on the Cardinals. 4:05 start. First 20,000 fans get a Gregory Polanco El Cafe bobblehead thanks to Dunkin' Donuts. Go to pirates.com/bobbleheads. Next Saturday, 1 week from today, 4:05. And lifted toward deep right center field, but Pilar will have room.
Thought maybe the ball typically carries pretty well here, and you heard the fans, they almost collectively held their breath. Thought maybe he got enough of it. Pitch was down and in. He really pulled his hands in. You could see by his reaction, he turned his head. He knew he didn't get enough of it.
So it's Jordy Mercer. Got a clutch 2-out RBI single to center field in the second. Couple of strikes on him. That's where Rowley was last time against Mercer. Threw him a couple of breaking balls and then tried to either get him to change eye level or offer. He did offer a high fastball well out of the zone, and he singled to center field.
He's done a pretty good job of throwing the ball where he wants to, almost like a dart thrower. He just kind of doesn't overpower anyone, but he's just able to locate with all his pitches.
To third, Barney. On to first. Chris Rowley in his major league debut, leading the Bucks 2-1.
It's time for the Toyota all-wheel drive RAV4th inning. Toyota, what drives you?
Here in Toronto for the second game of this 3-game series. Ryan Goins struck out against Trevor Williams in the second. Williams has struck out 5. It's the bottom third of the batting order for Toronto.
Goins, that's where he likes it. Likes it up and in. That one a little too up, I believe. A little bit out of the zone.
One and two. Williams' 18th start. 18th start this season. 24th appearance. Made it to the big leagues last year. Appeared in 7 games. And falls behind 3-2. He's gotten ahead of a few hitters, but he's also fallen behind once getting ahead.
Yeah, 14 of 16. That's a great percentage.
Not able to put guys away
No.
early in the count. Looks like he'll be able to put Goins away on the 3-2. One up and one down. Games tonight we will be watching, certainly. Pirates at the moment tied for third in the National League Central Division. 3 back of the Cubs. Cubs, the Cardinals, the Brewers going tonight. The Brewers struggling, having lost 6 in a row. The Cardinals soaring, having won 7 straight. It'll be Brent Suter on the mound for Milwaukee against Scott Feldman. Carlos Martinez goes for the Cardinals as they host the Braves, and Lucas Sims. John Lester tonight for Chicago against Patrick Corbett. This wild National League Central Division.
Did you see the video of Lance Lynn getting hit in the head?
I did.
Stayed in the game.
Yep. How about the video of Rich Hill getting hit in the throat?
Wow. Yeah.
Just below the throat. I think it kind of clipped him maybe a little bit on the collarbone, thankfully, but as he was trying to bunt. Jameson Taillon last year was hit by a line drive.
And stayed in.
Stayed in, yeah.
And Trevor Williams taking his time now as that foul ball looked like it got a piece of Francisco Cervelli. Give him a moment to shake it off.
To right, Polanco. The second out. Darwin Barney lined out to left. His first time up. Lines to right.
Oh, didn't get hit with the ball, got hit with the bat. Ouch.
Ref Snyder singled his first time up. Cervelli seems to be okay. Now falls behind him 2-0. And bounces it right to the second baseman Frazier, stationed over that way up the middle, and it is a 1-2-3 fourth. 7 straight set down by Trevor Williams. The Pirates down a run. Chris Rowley makes his major league debut. Graduate of West Point, and a 1-2-3 first inning. First big league strikeout is Josh Harrison. The Blue Jays pick up a run on a ground out by Steve Pearce that would score Jose Bautista. The Pirates would tie it in the second. A leadoff triple by Josh Bell, his team leading 5th three-base hit. And then with 2 outs and 2 strikes, Jordy Mercer goes upstairs to bring home Bell to tie it. Trevor Williams had 2 outs in the second, but with a bases loaded walk, Josh Donaldson to force in the second run of the ball game. That is where we stand going to the 5th. UPMC scoreboard, 2-1 ball game, and John Jaso, first pitch swinging, lifts it into right. Bautista, 1 pitch, 1 out. Chris Rowley throwing a bunch of strikes. Gave up 2 second-inning hits. The Bell triple and the Mercer single that you saw, and David Freese, a 1-out base hit last inning. Starling Marte had a 1-out single in the 3rd. Marte is on deck.
He certainly isn't lacking in confidence. Gets up there, he's ready to go. Has conviction with all his pitches, not afraid to challenge.
Ball 1.
Yeah, misses with the free strike. 1 pitch, 1 out. Misses low.
One ball and 1 strike. Chris Rowley had the initials of his good friend who passed away in February, Matthew Jack Hendricks, on his cap, MJH, and now Cervelli sits down or goes down.
And the fastball running in, almost clipped the back leg.
Now 3-1 on Cervelli with 1 out here in the 5th. Talking to the media yesterday, he had those initials. Matthew Jack Hendricks, his best friend who passed away in February. Watching history take place here in Toronto. First graduate of the West Point Military Academy to pitch in the major leagues.
And again, you think about it. Signed as an undrafted player.
Yeah, and then goes away for 2 years.
Yeah, I think he pitched in the Gulf Coast League.
Right.
Then he went away for a couple years. Then he comes back. Relief in Double-A this year.
Just getting a bunch of outs in the big leagues here.
Yeah.
2 down. A fly out and a ground out. It was not long after the 2013 draft, actually, that the Jays called and asked if he'd be interested in joining that Gulf Coast League team. He had any free time before his commitment began. And that summer, the rookie league affiliate, short on arms, needed some innings eaten up. He jumped at the chance. Spent his 6-week leave in July and August in Dunedin. And he went 4-0 with a 1.12 ERA in 32 innings. Ball, no strikes. And it's 1-1. Army team, the Black Knights, tweeting out their congratulations to Chris Rowley. His senior year, 2013, went 9-4 at Army. Ground ball, a little bobble, and Marte not running.
Why?
Is retired. He's just trotting down to first. 1, 2, 3. Bottom of the fifth, and our day automotive this day in Pirates history. It was on this day, August 12, 1966. Pirates beat the Reds 14-11. Bucks scored a tie at the ninth on a Jerry Lynch home run. Took the lead in the 10th. Willie Stargell homered. Took the lead again in the 11th. Bob Bailey had a two-run double. Finally took the lead for good in the 13th on a Manny Mota RBI single. Reds tied the game. Two teams combined for 11 homers, tying the major league record. Broken since. It's now 12. Reds tied the game in the 10th and 11th inning on Art Shamsky homers. Wild game on this day in 1966. Not so wild on this day in 1987. 1 ball, 1 strike. Another day in Pirates history.
Whirly.
The Whirly Bird. 4th career shutout, a 4-hitter, 11-0 win over the Cardinals. Jose Bautista not happy. Ball was riding right in on him.
Yeah, almost behind him. Didn't look to be a fastball. Not exactly sure what it was, but it looked like it got him in the belt. Obviously, Trevor Williams wasn't trying to hit him. I think it was 86.
Josh Donaldson has struck out and walked. That bases loaded walk, driving in or bringing in a run. A lot of free bases for Trevor Williams against these Blue Jays this afternoon. 5. 3 walks, 2 hit batters.
Let's see if we can get a ground ball from Donaldson. These Blue Jays hit into a lot of double plays.
Yeah, you're saying you looked it up, the most in the major leagues, 123.
Yeah, Donaldson only has 4, so he's not one to hit many. But they have 10 guys that have grounded into at least 10 double plays.
Contributing to that total of 123, the most in the majors. Boston, the Red Sox are next. Red Sox batters have hit into 107, the fewest. The Arizona Diamondbacks have hit into only 64.
Wow.
Compared to 123 for Toronto. In the air to right. Polanco not going to get there. And he's limping. Polanco hurt.
My, oh my. Left leg.
But that's the hamstring again. Wow. Doesn't look like it the way he's acting, though, does it? Looks like that daggone knee, doesn't it?
Yeah, hard to say.
Get him out of there, Tom Prince says. Let's go.
Yeah, that might be the hamstring again, the way he's kind of dragging that left leg. Well, that ball, that would have been a home run if it didn't hit his arm. And you see him pull up now because that ball almost bounced by him. It somehow hit his left arm. That's what kept it in front of him. But obviously, more importantly, another injury to a Pirate outfielder and to Gregory Polanco. It's been frustrating year, I'm sure, for Gregory Polanco.
Sean Rodriguez going to go out and play left, and John Jaso will move over to right. Tom Prince now having to deal with 2 starters back-to-back games. McCutchen last night and Polanco here today, having to leave early, and now it's Justin Smoke. Smoke has singled and struck out. Nobody out here. .76 RBIs for Smoke. Trevor Williams has allowed 2 runs to this point on 3 hits. And what a start for Chris Rowley. On the other side, Blue Jays rookie. Williams hit Batista to start this inning.
Oh,
got him looking.
What a pitch that was. That was perfectly placed. The late movement. This pitch starts off the plate inside to Smoke. We see Cervelli with that target, and that late run catching a good bit of that inside corner.
If Williams gets out of this inning, and if the Pirates come back, find a way to win this game, that pitch right there might be the pitch of the game.
Yeah.
I'm going to put a circle around that since Steve is not here. Ball 1 on Steve Pearce. He's put the ball on the ground twice. Weekly hit in the first inning to the second baseman Frazier. Need Pearce to hit the ball a little bit harder at one of the infielders and have Williams get out of this.
He hit that one pretty hard off his back leg. You don't see it very often where the foul ball goes and hits your back leg. Boy, just above the right knee. Typically, when you have when you're hitting a foul ball off your back leg, it's against a pitcher with pretty good movement, pretty good run on that fastball that just keeps chasing the right-handed batter, riding in on him.
Cervelli buys the batter a little bit of time. Pearce. Former Pirate draft pick Steve Pearce. Out of the Lakeland, Florida area. That pitch did not miss by much, being a strike. But Cervelli's movement there cost Williams any chance of getting a call. 2-1. Evens it up against Pearce, who made his big league debut in 2007. Parts of 5 years with the Bucks, up and down big leagues and the minors.
Hey, would you have guessed he'd have over 8 years in the big leagues?
No, Give him credit. He continued to work at it, bounced around a handful of clubs, particularly the Orioles. Signed as a free agent this winter by Toronto. And now it is 3-2 and another big pitch from Williams. Some high anxiety pitches for Trevor Williams in this ball game. We're only in the 5th. The Rafi Lopez on deck. Walked another free base.
Not surprised he went to the breaking ball there, but a little surprised he didn't try to throw it for a strike. I think he was looking for Pierce to chase.
Four walks, 2 hit batters, and now a pinch hitter. It would be Kendrys Morales here in the 5th inning. Rafi Lopez will be lifted in favor of the veteran switch hitter. We were wondering on the radio side last night, John, why John Gibbons didn't go to the bench. A situation where he had an opportunity to score some runs.
Well, they say he's under the weather, or he was under the weather for last night's game. Obviously feeling well enough to pinch hit this afternoon. But yeah, there was a couple opportunities where I was expecting Morales to come out. I think it was a 7th inning, a 1st and 3rd 1-out situation where Ref Snyder was up and struck out, and then again in the 9th.
Ray Searage works the scouting report there with Trevor Williams and Francisco Cervelli. With Kendrys Morales at the plate, a .251 hitter for the year. 21 homers and 59 runs batted in. Wade LeBlanc just got up. Morales more power from the left side, as is often the case with switch hitters, but only a .222 batting average, and he has hit into 13 of his 18 double plays from this left side of the plate. Ground ball left side, but oh, did that get rid of it? That didn't hit the runner. It looked like it changed direction, and this is going to score a couple. And I don't know that they even got an out at second. Tim Leeper, the first base coach, is telling the bench, look and see if Frazier was on the bag.
Ball, you thought Morales doesn't run very well. You thought you might be able to get 2. It wasn't hit hard enough. No, it went.
Just changed direction just on that turf. Weird look.
Yep.
Did they get the out at second even?
Josh Bell has done a good job of blocking balls. Picking balls over there at first base. Trevor thought he was going to be able to get out of it. He thought it was the ground ball he needed.
4-1. Disastrous ground ball. They do get the out at second, which is fortunate. Line to Mercer. The final out. And Kendrys Morales was scrambling back to the first base bag, but that's 3 outs. 4-1, Toronto. 6th. Trevor Williams and Ray Searage. Last night was Jameson Taillon, who pitched 6+. Then George Contos came on after there were 2 men on, nobody out. Contos came on in the 7th and retired all 3, so kept the Jays off the board in that 7th inning, and they tweeted last night, "Contos, you did the brunt work, brother. Just helping you out a little bit." Point Park University tweets from Jameson Taillon, who praised Contos, and then
that's a 1st and 3rd no out situation, right?
Yep. Adam Frazier at the plate. The error charged to Frazier, allowing that 2nd run to score. His throw got past first. He is 0 for 2. Once again, the spotlight on Chris Rowley, who has allowed 1 run in 5 innings in his major league debut on just 4 hits.
Let's see if there's any adjustments made here. Pirates getting to see Rowley for a 3rd time.
Two and 2. Gets a call there.
Third and 4th pitches both off the plate. Those were the pitches called strikes. 2nd pitch on the plate, not a strike. But boy, he's continues to work Adam Frazier away. You see pretty good command. All those pitches about in the same area. Curveball gonna
and a pop-up. 1 out. Working with a new catcher now, Mike Ullman. Ullman just called up to replace Russell Martin on the roster. And with Morales pinch hitting for Rafi Lopez, a new battery mate. Jay Hay into center field, a 1-out single for Josh Harrison.
I don't know how he does it. I mean, he does that as well as anybody. A pitch down and away from him. It's a breaking ball down and away, and he just has that incredible ability to stay back and stay up the middle. A little off the end of the bat, but the hands work so well. A lot of hitters swing at that pitch and they roll it over to the left side of the infield.
Time to put the oven mitt on. Now Josh Bell has tripled and struck out. Pirates down 3.
Boy, that's some crazy movement. I thought it was a changeup the way the ball ran away, down and away, but just a 2-seam fastball.
Falls behind Bell, 2-0. Tripled to lead off the 2nd and scored on the base hit by Mercer. At the time, made it a 1-1 ball game. Falls behind Josh Bell, 3-0.
That's where he was the last time against Josh Bell. Fell behind 3-0 and then came back with 3 straight fastballs and got him swinging.
And ball 4 goes back to the backstop. 2 on with 1 away.
And Ullman having some trouble there. I mean, there's a couple pitches that looked like they were in the strike zone, including the last pitch.
That's going to be it. Looks like this should be some kind of ovation for Second Lieutenant Chris Rowley. I mean, everybody here in this stadium knows how historic this is. What an unbelievable journey and a well-deserved ovation. Chris Rowley goes 5 1/3, 5 hits. To this point, just 1 run, responsible for the 2 men on. John, what'd you think?
I mean, I thought he had good command. He doesn't overwhelm you with the stuff. I mean, he was topped out around 90 miles per hour, but had great movement on his fastball. Wasn't afraid to throw it. Had a good slider. Threw some nice change-ups. Good movement. And not afraid.
First pitch strike. Dominic Leone.
45th appearance, 2.63 ERA. Opponents only hit 188 against him. A lot of sliders coming from Leone. Get the fastball up there, mid-90s, 94, 95. But he likes his slider. Also will throw a curveball.
Past him. Leone has been one of the best Jays relievers. He's allowed just 4 extra base hits with runners in scoring position. That was almost like no contest. 2 outs.
Yeah, just coming right at David Freese. That one a little bit up, but still in the zone.
Now Sean Rodriguez bats his first AB of the game. He came on when Gregory Polanco came up limping on that Josh Donaldson shallow pop-up.
Like with Freese, starts Rodriguez off with a slider.
Leone has given up only 4 home runs. Half swing. And that'll do it. So the book closed on Chris Rowley. He gives up 1 thanks to Dominic Leone.
Brought to you by the all-new Chevy Equinox and your Western PA Chevy dealers. And by Day Automotive. We're gonna make your day. Let's go, Bucks!
Pirates trail by 3 in the middle game of this 3-game series. Sean Rodriguez, a little check swing dribbler. The final out. Mike Ullman able to make the play on him. Trevor Williams back out for the bottom of the 6th. This is how Rowley reacted to that final out. And Leone back to congratulate Chris Rowley. Goins a pop up to Marte. Williams gave up 2 runs last inning, 1 of them unearned.
Yeah, thought he got the big double play too, and just wasn't hit hard enough.
Reaction by Marte, but he'll come in and make the catch.
Yeah, broke back a bit and then had to recover. And he's checking out his slide. You'll see his reaction, a little bit of a freeze, and you'll see all the black rubber come up. That's what's weird about this turf. Good enough speed to recover after a poor jump.
Count and inside. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th. Williams approaching the 90 pitch mark, so very likely his last inning. See if he can get Refsnyder. He had a 1-2-3 third, another 1-2-3 fourth, but Refsnyder 2 hits after his forgettable night last night. Singles to center in the second and a base hit to right here in the 6th. And just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, to look forward to Miller Time later in the game. Brought to you by Miller Lite.
I'm guessing Francisco Cervelli was asked to go out and buy some time.
Keen Benoit, is he coming in now? Doesn't look like it. Tom Prince, acting manager. Clint Hurdle will be back tomorrow. Trevor Williams now faces Jose Bautista. He's walked him twice and hit him. Bautista, now 36 years old, was a 20th round pick of the Pirates 2000 out of a community college in Florida.
'20th round pick.
Yeah.
I know when I first got into coaching and throwing batting practice to him when he was in A-ball or whatever, it stuck out like a sore thumb.
How good he was.
He was so much better than everybody else. I mean, everything you threw up there, he hit it hard, and he hit it in the direction you threw it, and it sounded different, it looked different. Yeah, it was impressive. That was the first thing I did when I was done. I was like, who was that guy wearing whatever number?
Really?
It was that good. It was unforgettable for me, obviously. It's the only guy I can remember throwing to.
Then he went through that crazy journey taken by the Baltimore Orioles, the Rule 5 draft in December of 2003, which meant the Rule 5 guy, you got to stick with the big league club or else be put on waivers, and essentially any team in baseball can get you, and that's kind of what happened to him. Started out with the Orioles in 2004, but they released him, claimed by Tampa Bay in June 2004. Traded to the Kansas City Royals 3 weeks later. And then about a month later, the Pirates were ready to deal Chris Benson. The Mets wanted Benson. The Pirates told the Mets, you need to get Bautista in a deal. They did. As Bautista, who was traded to the Blue Jays in August of 2008, strikes out, the Pirates trail 4-1.
Telecast is presented by the authority of the Pittsburgh Pirates and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Pirates trailing here 4-1. 7th inning. Jordy Mercer. UPMC scoreboard 4-1, and Trevor Williams done for the night, for the day rather. 3 of the 4 runs earned.
And the 3 that were earned, 2 hit batters and a walk. So he didn't have his best command and ended up costing him.
Yeah, too bad really. Just giving the Blue Jays too many base runners.
Yeah.
Up the middle, but the second baseman there. Ref Snyder throws out Mercer. Jaso has grounded out and flied out. Again, the Pirates and Brewers 3 back of the Cubs in the Central. The Cardinals 1 game back. There's a line drive deep. And Jaso will reach second base. And Bautista again showing off that strong arm seen for years, but a little bobble at the base of the wall allows Jaso to reach second base with 1 away.
Yeah, I would think that Jaso would have had to put on the brakes if Bautista didn't bobble it. Like the first pitch fastball, 96 turns on it. Too much topspin hitting bottom half of that wall. And despite the bobble, still pretty close play there at second.
Pirates try to rally down 3. 16 doubles now for Jaso on the year. Cervelli 0 for 2. Jaso holds on the pitch in the dirt. I'm going to send along congratulations to Jim and Kathy O'Brien. Jim O'Brien been around the Pittsburgh sports scene for a number of years. They're celebrating their 50th wedding anniversary today, as are Roger and Marianne McDonough, big Pirates fans. And a shout out to Shannon Gregory. Two 2-0. No word yet on Gregory Polanco injury. Needless to say, the fact that Polanco has spent time on the disabled list 2 different stints this year with the left hamstring strain, that was not a good sign to see him limping off the field. Cervelli didn't know where that pitch was.
Right there on the outside corner.
He thought that Jordan Baker was going to ask Bruce Dreckman, the first base umpire, if he had swung. There's the big swing. 2-2. See, when Cervelli is really unhappy, he'll do that. Walk behind the catcher and the umpire.
Well, he got a little bit of a breaking ball that stayed in the inner half of the plate, and the eyes got big.
Two and two. Jaso at second, 1 out.
breaking ball. Another big swing. And a little grimace. I don't know if it's that hand. He's not wearing the batting gloves that we've seen him wear. That's a bit of a hanger too.
Second strikeout for Dominic Leone.
He's not cutting back on that swing. There's a couple vicious hacks.
See if Marte can deliver here with the runner at second and 2 outs. Marte, I think, was kind of talking to himself after not running out that ground ball in the 5th. Bobbled by the shortstop. He's running hard. He reaches.
Anytime he hits a ball to the left side, it's not fielded cleanly, I think he should beat it out.
Single to center field in the 3rd against Chris Rowley, who's in line to win this game. And one of the big stories in Major League Baseball today. Chris Rowley made his Major League debut, the West Point graduate. We just now get word Gregory Polanco was removed due to left hamstring discomfort. Chris Rowley hanging around the dugout. His manager, John Gibbons.
As he sat down. Another big hack. This slider that Leone's throwing must be looking inviting, because there's been some big swings from Cervelli, now Marte, and they've been coming up empty.
Two and two, 2 outs. Leone against Marte. And got him looking.
On AT&T Sportsnet is brought to you by Barrel. Visit Barrel.com to learn more about our 3 conveniently located collision centers. And by Levin's, the official furniture and mattress supplier to the Pittsburgh Pirates. For the best quality, service, and value, shop Levin's. Let's go, Bucks!
Jays still up 4-1. And at the bottom of the 7th. Here in Toronto. Joaquin Benoit. And Donaldson pops up the first pitch.
Oh, that ball was way up there, up near the rooftop. Benoit on the year, 1-5, a 4.40 ERA, 45 innings, 44 punch-outs. Opponents hitting just .210 against the veteran,
who pitched here last year. 25 appearances for Toronto. So they acquired him in a deal before the deadline for Drew Storen from Seattle. One ball, one strike count on Justin Smoke. Struck out a couple of times against Trevor Williams. 6 innings for Williams, 4 runs, 3 earned, 4 hits, 4 walks, hit 2 batters, and struck out 7. That got Cervelli pretty good.
It sounded like mask. I thought it got him in the shoulder, but it sounded like it hit metal. Maybe a bit of both between the shoulder and the mask. Sounded like it. Looks like he's okay.
And into left for a base hit. Justin Smoke, his 4th hit in 2 games against the Pirates.
Had to go out and get that one.
Lefty righty action. Ryan Tepera and Aaron Loop. Steve Pearce. His weak ground ball in the first inning towards second produced the first run. Pirates tied it in the second, then Toronto got a run in the bottom half of that inning. The bases loaded walk to Josh Donaldson. 2 runs in the 5th. And back-to-back games for this Pirates offense. Had it not been for shabby defense, Marcus Stroman was dominating last night. The Pirates ended up with a 4-2 victory thanks to Jamison Tyone and 3 relievers. Today the Pirates with just the 1 run on 6 hits. Facing the rookie making his major league debut, Chris Rowley, and a line drive in the left center.
Well, he's always been able to hit the fastball. That fastball at 95. Turns it around. Thought maybe for a moment Mercer would be able to make a play on it, but too high for him. Good swing inside the ball. Got the barrel to it.
Steve Pearce on base for a second time. Mike Ullman now, his first at bat, came on to catch after Andres Morales pinch hit for the starting catcher Rafi Lopez, who was starting in place of Russell Martin on the disabled list. Second time Ullman has been in the big leagues this year with Toronto. They've gone through a bunch of catchers. Miguel Montero, who was acquired from the Chicago Cubs, is on the disabled list with a groin injury. So Joaquin Benoit trying to keep it a 3-run deficit, but 2 on, 1 out, and the Blue Jays try and deliver a knockout punch. Jay Happ on the left of your screen will go tomorrow. It's going to be trouble. Harrison throws it past Bell. 1 in. This will be a second run. Now Ullman winds up at third. Base hit and 2-run score on the air.
Yeah, perfectly placed swinging bunt. And Jay, as he's always going to do, he's going to try to make the impossible play. And not that that was impossible, but everything would have had to have been perfect to have a chance at throwing out Ullman. And the throw just behind the runner, which is the toughest thing. And Josh playing most of the year on the right side of the infield. I mean, that's that off-balance throw. It's going to have tail to it. I mean, really want to try to keep it to the fair side of first base.
Second error of the game charged to the Pirates. Kevin Pillar. Mike Ullman gets credit for an infield hit. No RBI. Infield in. Deep to right, Jaso. Sacrifice fly will make it a 7-1 ball game.
Well, that's pretty good hustle, by the way, from Ullman.
Yes.
Big catcher.
Yeah.
A swinging bunt ends up all the way at third base, which leads to an extra run for the Jays.
He's still out there. Chris Rowley taking it all in.
So few American players can go undrafted and make it to the major leagues. It's so incredibly rare. Whether you're out of high school or college, it just doesn't happen.
And here he is.
Especially without much experience.
Yes.
I mean, he has not pitched much in the minor leagues. And taking 2 years off, it's really amazing.
Completed 30 months of active duty. Bravo Company of the 27th Infantry of the 1st Brigade in the 3rd Infantry Division. Second Lieutenant Chris Rowley, now starting pitcher for the Toronto Blue Jays. And I'm sure nervously watching, thankful that the Jays score some insurance runs, but wanting to watch the final 6 outs.
Oh, yeah. Savor it, I'm sure.
Aaron Loop. And a fly ball to Marte. Now we'll see if the Pirates can't rally here. Down 6, head to the 8th. Pirates are trailing here 7-1, 8th inning. It's the Blue Jays after beating Toronto 4-2 last night. While the Cubs were beating the Diamondbacks, the Cardinals downed Atlanta, and Cincinnati held off the Milwaukee Brewers in a wild one. Here's Aaron Loop. Takes over for Dominic Leone, who pitches 1 2/3 scoreless in relief of Chris Rowley. Adam Frazier 0 for 3.
He doesn't care if it's a lefty.
Sometimes you wonder if he doesn't prefer them.
Exactly.
Lefties are batting .333 off of Loop his last 29 outings.
Which is hard to believe when the way he pitches from the side, not quite down under, but herky-jerky. Usually these guys are tough to pick up. And you really got to try to focus on the release point. And by the time you pick up the release point, it seems like the ball is on you.
Bounce to third, and that play made by Barney. Ball was trying to eat him up. He stayed with it. Frazier is the first out in the 8th. Checking out the replay when we check out our Nissan Road Ahead. It is Chad Kuhl tomorrow against Jay Happ. Kuhl looking for his 6th win, as is Happ. A couple years ago, Jay Happ had an outstanding second half run with Pittsburgh. Saw Chad Kuhl over there with Garrett Cole.
And then 20 wins a year ago.
Signed as a free agent. some time on the disabled list this year. Seems to have it going again. The left-hander tomorrow. The Pirates have seen their share of lefties lately. And you wonder if Andrew McCutchen, I get the impression McCutchen will be back tomorrow. Let's put it this way, would not be a surprise to see him maybe DHing tomorrow.
That's the best case scenario when you see a guy come out of the game with an injury. They say day to day, you never know whether or not how realistic it is to be back right away, but encouraging news today.
2 outs. Not so encouraging with Gregory Polanco. And Josh Donaldson in the 5th inning at the plate. This fly ball to right. Polanco, that last lunge after the ball hit off of him, grabbing the ball, and then it's that hamstring again. You hate to speculate, but it would be a shock if he doesn't land on the DL again.
Yeah, I mean that looks like a DL.
You know, we're going to talk to, of course, Neil Huntington on his radio show tomorrow before the game. He had said when Polanco landed on the DL a second time that it was likely going to be week to week, which is not as good as day to day, but better than month to month. This ground ball up the middle, a base hit. You wonder if Polanco didn't somehow talk his way into coming off the disabled list sooner than the Pirates would have wanted, because they wanted to make sure that that wouldn't crop up again. As Josh Bell is on base for a 3rd time. So Jose Osuna, good chance we'll see him back in there tomorrow against the lefty Jay Happ.
And he's done nothing but impress. Every opportunity he gets, fun to watch.
Yep.
Great approach at the plate, very consistent.
Yeah, he has been just really a quiet, positive story this season. Just can't break into the lineup. Pirates just over the course of the season haven't seen a lot of lefties. Osuna did start on Tuesday against the lefty Matt Boyd.
And you look at what, I mean, let's just say, just because their names are next to each other on the stat sheet, Osuna, Polanco with 150 more at bats. Osuna only has 5 fewer RBIs and only 7 fewer extra base hits.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean he has been very, very productive. It's and it's almost half of his hits have gone for extra bases. I mean, 27 RBIs and 176 at bats. Pretty impressive.
When you think about it, you wonder, maybe the main reason Polanco has not had the year that he and the Pirates had hoped when he has been active, maybe just hasn't been completely, well, nobody's completely healthy, but just generally healthy.
And you know, with the medicine and science and everything that goes on nowadays, there's so much more in today's game in terms of nutritionalists and strength and conditioning folks and massage therapists, etc. Like, why do some pull more muscles than others?
Ball 4 after 2 outs, a hit and a walk, and it'll bring up Sean Rodriguez. The Pirates have talked about how they might have to just really work with Polanco this offseason and changing his workout program as John Gibbons is going to go to a righty. Sean Rodriguez will not face Aaron Loup. Bucks down 6. We'll be back in Toronto. Game live, plus get a free subscription to At Bat Premium, the #1 app for live baseball. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details. Ryan Tepera takes over. 2 on, 2 outs, down 6. Top of the 8th in Toronto. Second at bat for Sean Rodriguez. Even after Polanco got hurt.
Here's your numbers for Tepera. 52nd appearance, 58 in the 3rd innings. Opponents just a 191 average. 6 wins in relief. Hard slider at 88. Pretty good break.
Tepera has given up 3 homers over his last 15 innings. Strikes out Rodriguez. The Pirates are done in the 8th. 7-1. Got some help from shabby Pirate defense. Trevor Williams giving the Blue Jays 6 free bases. We check out our Point Park University tweets and Instagrams. Getting your passport just for this series. That's cool stuff. Across another stadium off the list. Bucking on the road from Nicole. All over downtown Toronto.
First guy I met at a coffee shop yesterday morning. Mount Lebanon guy, Jonathan, up here working. Excited
about that?
Yes. I don't know exactly what was going on, but he said that he wanted to make sure he was working here in Toronto this week.
Cool.
With the Pirates in town.
And we brought the band up. Steve Miller. Ball's fouled off twice by Barney. Steve Miller's working audio for us in this series. The World Traveler.
The Joker.
The Joker, yeah. Took a big old jetliner to get here.
Yes, he
Airliner.
Did.
On 2 strikes, A.J. Schugel faces Darwin Barney. Blue Jays coming off a series win against the Yankees.
Did you happen to catch the end of that game last night, by the way, the Yankees game?
I did, and the runner thrown out at third for the Red Sox.
Nunez. Yeah.
Nunez. In fact, I was going to ask you about that.
That was all craziness.
What did you think?
Well, I think it was crazy that the Red Sox were like just dominating and rolling 3-0 as there's a nice fastball located on the outside corner to get Barney looking.
But Eduardo Nunez with Chapman on the mound, first and second, fly out, or bases loaded.
Chapman walked the bases loaded with a 2-run lead in the ninth. Fly ball to left, straightaway left.
Sacrifice fly.
Not even to the warning track. The ball was caught and straightaway left. And so sac fly scores a runner from third. Nunez tries to go from second to third. Now it was a play that was bang bang.
It was a great throw from Hicks, right?
It was a good throw from Hicks. It was bang bang. They reviewed it, barely tagged and barely in time. And he took everybody, all the national folks thought it was the dumbest play.
That's what I wanted to ask you about. I mean, I was watching the MLB network and it was just like the base running in the major leagues is so awful, and how can you do that? The play's right in front of you. But I was going to ask you what you thought about it, because it's Chapman.
It is Chapman.
Took a great throw, great play to get him out at third.
I mean, it's very risky. You're not going to see it very often, a runner tagging from second to third. I don't care how fast you are when the ball's hit straightaway left and not that deep. I don't think it was the right decision. Having said that, if he's safe, everybody's going crazy. Oh, you love the aggressiveness with Chapman. What's the chances of getting a hit and blah, blah, blah. You know, and I because it was so close. Because I mean, some of the guys on MLB were saying it doesn't matter. Even if he's safe, it's a bad play. Well, I don't agree with that.
Yeah.
If he's safe, it's a great play.
Well, but it certainly should matter if you have a dominating guy on the mound, right?
Well, yeah, I think that plays a big part. And I also want to say there were 2 lefties due up. I think it was Benintendi and then the first baseman, Moreland. Who's the first? Moreland, yeah. So that's the other thing on top of it. You know, you got 2 lefties due up. Whether or not Nunez was thinking about that when he tagged or not, I have no idea. But actually, a better slide. If he would have went a little bit wider with his slide, he would have been safe.
I still, looking at that replay, of course, they got the better look in New York.
The Frazier tag was on the leg, and it was just a brush, just barely got his leg, and it was just as the hand got to the bag. In fact, if he was ruled safe, I don't think they could have.
That's right. Could have overturned.
I don't think they could have said he was out.
That's how close it was.
But again, I mean, that's
It's just not as cut and dried, maybe, as we.
As I look at a guy like Nunez, I don't know how fast he is. I think of Marte being the fastest Pirate, and I'm like sitting there thinking, I mean,
Nunez is pretty fast, Eduardo Nunez.
Obviously, because like I said, with Hicks with a good strong throw, I couldn't believe that he wasn't out by more. To be honest with you, I thought when I saw that he was going, I thought he'd be out by more, because Hicks has a strong throwing arm. The throw was pretty accurate, and it was still a bang-bang play.
Isn't it sometimes, don't you say it's a great baseball play on both sides, kind of?
Yeah, I mean.
Great defensive play, great, the tag, the
everything involved.
Tagging and made it so close. Chapman.
In this day and age, I think base running, there's a lack of aggressiveness in base running. I'd rather see errors by being aggressive than errors by not being aggressive. And then, as they always say, if you're going, the time you want to try to make a play to third base is with one out. Not with nobody out, not with two outs, but with one out.
Bautista down on strikes. Schugel gets a couple Ks.
Two-seam fastball. And Bautista, I mean, again, we talked about his good eye, and he does strike out a bunch. But for him to chase a fastball off the plate is a bit surprising. The fastball away off the plate, it's never in the strike zone, unless it's a cutter or something like that. But typically, you usually see hitters chase a pitch that starts in the strike zone and ends up out of it. But you don't see them oftentimes, especially away, chase a fastball that's never been in the strike zone.
Donaldson walked with the bases loaded in the second inning. Hit that fly ball to right we just showed you, where Polanco ended up having it bounce off his body and reached for it. Pulled that hamstring again, so Polanco out of the ball game, and we would assume will be headed to the DL. John Jaso started the game in left, moved to right. And Sean Rodriguez entered the ball game after Polanco was forced to leave.
Now that good Schugel changeup.
Two balls, two strikes on Josh Donaldson. I believe still using that Nolan Arenado bat. Slumping late last summer, and Troy Tulowitzki, who had at least a couple bats of his former teammate in Colorado, loaned it to Josh Donaldson, and it was a slump buster, and using it again here this afternoon. Troy Tulowitzki is out for the rest of the season, by the way.
So that was more than a sprain, then, I assume. The ankle?
Yeah. Nice play by Jay Hay, and they get the final out. Pirates need a big-time rally heading to the ninth, down 6. Good work from A.J. Schugel. series against the Jays tomorrow afternoon here on AT Sportsnet. It'll be Chad Kuhl against Jay Happ. Coverage begins at 12:30. Pirates pregame presented by WB Mason. Teague, of course, will be helping out in the pregame tomorrow. Chad Kuhl. Pirates will look to Chad Kuhl to come up big tomorrow. Pirates need to continue winning series.
Yes, indeed.
Ezequiel Carrera now takes over in left. Leonel Campos.
Just the 8th appearance. 11 punch outs and 9 1/3.
And a drive toward left field. And Jordy Mercer crushes one. Solo home run, his 11th. 7-2 ball game. Right near our friends we showed earlier.
Yeah, he's been struggling of late. A couple of hits this afternoon with that home run. Hopefully that gets him going back in the right direction. First pitch fastball. Outer third.
Jordy Mercer greets the reliever with his 11th home run. Another look from this angle.
Every time he hits one too, just the swing just looks so effortless, so easy.
Matches his season total in home runs last year. It's a career high 12 set 3 years ago, and Jaso lifts one to left center. The new left fielder Carrera. First out. Mercer seated there with Sean Rodriguez. Cervelli 0 for 3. To figure Chris Stewart catches Chad Kuhl tomorrow. Francisco Cervelli just one hit in his last 12 at bats. Though he has, at least before today, enjoyed his last almost dozen trips here to Rogers Center. Heading over 390. There's Stu. Always studying the goings on. And to right. 2 outs. So one more out to get for Chris Rowley. He really was the big story today. Major League debut.
And he was impressive and aggressive.
Yeah, he threw a bunch of strikes on the other side. Trevor Williams not able to show that good command. Marte is single in the third. Justin Smoke, a couple of hits this afternoon. Eight hits matches the Pirates hits total, but Pirates defensively did not play very well. Last night it was second baseman Ref Snyder. Ref Snyder had trouble and the Pirates took advantage, scored 4 unearned runs, and these Blue Jays, including Ref Snyder, took advantage this afternoon of maybe some shabby D, and again those free bases.
Is it 4 unearned runs or 3?
3. Two and two. Again, the Cubs play tonight. John Lester goes for Chicago in Phoenix against Patrick Corbin. They are game up on the Cardinals. Cardinals Carlos Martinez on the mound tonight in St. Louis against Atlanta. Brewers and the Pirates 3 back at this moment. Milwaukee hosting Cincinnati tonight.
Campos, a bunch of breaking balls here to Marte. Threw a fastball to Jordy. Jordy hit it out.
And he walked him. Well, Pirates still have some life here. And Chris Rowley will have to wait at least another batter. That is Adam Frazier. Frazier was 1 for 4, drove in a run, or 1 for 4, drove in a run and scored a run last night. And lines to the second baseman Ref Snyder, who drops it but still gets the out. And that man, second lieutenant Chris Rowley, gets the win in his major league debut, and what a day for him.
Yeah, I tell you, he came out like a veteran. A very quick 3 up, 3 down first inning. Gave up the 1 run after a leadoff triple in the second inning, but man, very impressed. Kind of funky with his delivery, but good movement, good location with all his pitches. Really quieted the Pirates offensively this afternoon, and a couple of walks and a walk and a couple hit batters hurt Trevor Williams. Defense cost the Pirates. So Chris Rowley gets his first big league W.
He's the big story today as the Pirates and Blue Jays now even at a game apiece, setting up the rubber match